you said you like the emotional part of it, right? How it kind of
Mhm.
eases your mind. I think one of the things that I took away from that from that document you sent me was I looked and acted the way I was supposed to on the outside, but it was always chaos behind the curtains, right? Like I could relate
That's
to
right.
so much. You're just this picture perfect image, but inside it's like it's a mess, right? What did so the Marine Corps doesn't really prepare you for your mindset once you get out, right? Because you have this
Right.
structure where you're in your comfort zone. What did you learn? And is beehive keeping your outlet permanently to kind of combat these internal issues and struggles you have?
So, beekeeping is definitely one of the things that assists, and for most people, it's not just one thing that's going to help you out. It's going to take a bunch of stuff to try to figure things out. Transitioning out, like you said, this is the first time you're doing it. Your mindset has been one way your entire life because most people go in at 18. From 18 and on, your brain is still a sponge. It's still developing all the way through turning 25 and whatnot, or so the scientists say. And you have been molded to act, speak, do things a certain way. And when that kind of goes away, there's a void of sorts right there. I still work out all the time. You can't see me right now.
You jacked?
I'm in shape. I'm not jacked, but I'm in shape because I still go to the gym because it helps me. It helps my mindset. It helps me to relax. I, putt around the farm. I tend to the garden. We got chickens. We got ducks. We got the bees back there. I'm trying to develop pollinator habitat and all that stuff, building and creating things and making things that kind of feed into each other is very relaxing. Now, that's all very therapeutic. There is definitely a more structured approach. Therapy, journaling, just having somebody to talk to about some of these things, because you're right. The Marine Corps is very good at shaping, molding, and getting you to perform, even if everything in here isn't the greatest. And when you transition out, you don't have that driver of being, the Marine Corps saying, hey, you're still going to do this, you're still going to perform, you're still going to do all these things. And when that's not there anymore, you're kind of like, well, if I don't have to do that anymore, I'm going to have to start thinking about all this stuff that's going on up here. Anxiety is super common. I mean, I didn't even realize that it was anxiety, which is so messed up to me that I didn't realize the way that I was feeling was anxiety. And I've had it all throughout the military. Going to run a PFT in the morning, the night before, just, or what if I don't do well? I'm a 280, plus PFTer, but I'm still worrying the night before about all this craziness. And there's no reason for that. There is a reason for that, but you have to find out what that reason is. You're going to have to do a lot of soul searching. You're going to have to do a lot of time with yourself, which, like I said, the military kind of pushes that, piece to the side, and you don't have to deal with it as much because military is kind of like a Band-Aid, so to speak. They rip the Band-Aid off, the wound's exposed, you're out in the civilian world. You have to find something else. Find your
Yeah,
beekeeping.
they
Talk
don't
to
they
a
don't give us the
therapist.
coping mechanisms to be able to deal with regular life, And you're saying like we go in at such a young age. I know for men, like their frontal cortex or the frontal lobe doesn't fully develop till they're 25. And I mean, by the time I was 25, I had already been to combat twice, and I had been in this environment where it's like go go go, perform perform perform, and you're speaking your story, and I can relate 100%. And I'm glad that you're saying that it's not just these activities like journaling or beehiving or the gym. Like those are crucial to maintaining your mental health, but also taking the actionable steps and seeking therapy and putting in that work where someone's going to kind of guide you the right way so that these other things you're doing, like the journaling and the gym, they actually all make sense and all tie together. Because the military, like you said, it's a Band-Aid, right? And you're all hurt and you're all together, so it's all good, right? But then once that gets ripped off and you don't have that system and that support around you where everyone's kind of enabling you to be the same way, you really got to take a hard look at yourself and figure out, am I going to stay this way or am I going to fix it? And so I'm really happy that you did the work. It's not easy. I hope you can You have attested to that. It's
I'm
tough
I'm
work.
still doing the work. Yeah, I'm
Always.
still doing the work. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to stop more than likely, and that's just something maybe you have to come to term with, is that you're always just going to have to. It's just like going to the gym or eating healthy or anything else. Mental health is just like physical health. If you don't take care of your heart, if you don't take care of your brain, if you don't take care of your emotions, bad stuff's going to happen more than likely. So
Yeah, I mean, the first kind of thing, my first form of acceptance for me was what you said. You have to accept that it's going to be here. Like, I call it fighting my demons. Like, he ain't going anywhere. He's sticking around. He wants to win too, but I got to make myself strong enough with the tools that I have so that I keep him down and away, and that I can be, the man that I want to be without all this anxiety, because I stress too, right? Like, how is this going to go tomorrow? Just like you're talking about the PFT, like, what about XYZ? And that's not a healthy way to think about it. And I think we thought about it that way because we had very important roles in the military, right? Especially when we're in a deployment to Afghanistan and lives are on the line. Like, did I miss something? Did I forget something? Like, you have to make sure all your T's are crossed and all your I's are dotted. And it's a good skill to have. Employers want it, right? Because you're very thorough with your work. But when you go home and sit alone, are you okay being alone, right? You have to do the work to be okay being alone. And that's what I think a lot of veterans weren't prepared for, and probably having the hardest time right now, because they got their support system taken away. They got their barracks buddies taken away. They got that camaraderie taken away. And when you're just tossed right back out into society without any coping mechanisms, it can be a rough time. And that's why we see these stories like, 22 a day and veterans are taking their lives. They don't know how to cope with it. And we have to let them know that there's resources out there for them, like therapy through the VA. It might take a while to get it, but they'll get it to you eventually. And you got to stick with it and put in the effort to actually apply what they're teaching you, and not just be a knucklehead like, no, this is just the way I am. This is how it's going to be. I'm a tough guy. No, you're not a tough guy, or else you wouldn't be here right now, because you don't need to be tough. You don't need to be tough all the time. That's a great thing.